Euphoria Season 2 has hit us all in the feels, and it has been an incredibly wild ride. But every now and then, things get even crazier, and fans are left asking a lot of questions. Let's check out 10 of the questions that fans have for the writers of Euphoria. Warning, mild spoilers ahead. Firstly, what happened to McKay? McKay went off to college where he was hazed really violently while pledging for a fraternity. It makes sense that he is pretty busy now with college and that we don't see him as often. But at the same time, they left him with a completely unfinished storyline that we would love to have cleared up. They did finish some things. After the hazing incident, he ends up having aggressive sex with Cassie, who gets pregnant. The couple breaks up and she terminates her pregnancy. We do get to see them when they are chatting at the New Year's Eve party and when McKay carries Nate into the hospital during the Season 2 premiere, but then after that, he just kind of disappeared, and we haven't seen anything from McKay for the rest of the season. What happened to him? Will he ever come back and finish his story? What about Troy and Roy? McKay might be off to college, and that could explain his absence at least a little bit, but he also had two younger brothers called Troy and Roy, who we know from their time when they were smoking weed with Gia, and it wasn't like that was the only time where they appeared. They were there quite often in the first season, and they are still around in school. They haven't gone anywhere, but still, they haven't really appeared in Season 2 at all. It doesn't make any sense. They didn't leave the area. They should appear more often, and they just don't. It seems like this show likes to make characters disappear. Not quite what we meant when we say that a show is magic. Next, does anyone do schoolwork in this show? Okay, I know this is a bit of a plot hole that most teen shows have, but when do any of these kids actually do schoolwork? It only seems to be Lexi that cares about school at all. Most of them go to Euphoria High, but never do a schoolwork project or extracurricular. The older children are all supposed to be around 16 and 17, and they should probably be starting to check out colleges and do the SATs and normal things like that. But besides as a setting and background, it really doesn't seem like school features in these kids' lives at all. And for Ashtray, that seems to be even worse. He is quite a bit younger than the other children, so in the Euphoria world, he should be around 10 to 13. But it doesn't really look like he is going to school at all. He's clearly supposed to still be in school, but it doesn't look like he is going right now. Has he ever gone? If he was registered at some stage, why is no one checking up on him? And if he has never gone to school, then who taught him to read and write? Am I overthinking this? Very likely, but I still want answers. Is Kat still doing her cam girl thing? In Season 1, Kat was on a major journey of self-discovery, and that led her to become a cam girl. But the writers of the show have dropped that storyline so far, and we don't know if she is still doing it. There was one episode that had a pretty important scene discussing the toxic culture that is present today when people can take self-love to a toxic level and the dangers that it can hold. But they haven't focused on it much this season. In fact, Kat is just another incredible character that has kind of been abandoned in Season 2. She was in a few scenes trying to decide if she would break up with Ethan, and we haven't seen much of her besides that. She has really become a bit of a sidekick to Maddie this season, and I kind of hate that. The character was too good for that. Rumors say that the actress who plays Kat, Barbie Ferreira, had a disagreement with Euphoria director Sam Levinson, and that might be the reason why she's been sidelined. It could be one reason, but those are still just rumors for now. Where did Leslie's boyfriend go? Once again, the case of the disappearing character is a bit of a theme for Euphoria. In Season 1, Leslie had a boyfriend called Rick, who Rue hates. Rue even told him in no uncertain terms how much she disliked him. He had a massive impact on the character and on the relationship between Rue and Leslie. I mean, I get it. There was very little chance that the relationship would make it. It makes sense that they would break up. But once again, the character just did a disappearing act. The writers never explained what happened to him or where he went. They could have at least just mentioned that Leslie broke up with Rick. Have you been watching Euphoria Season 2? Do you love the new season? Let us know in the comments section. We love to hear from you. Next up, we will check out the last 5 questions we have for the writers of Euphoria. Will Nate go to college? Why they stole liquor? And so much more. And who is the third child in the family picture? The Jacobs home has a picture of the family, with Cal and Marcia posing with 3 children. 2 of them are obviously their own kids, Nate and Aaron, but it is the third child that has had speculations going wild. Who could that kid be? Was there a third child? We just haven't gotten some tragic backstory about him yet. Or could it be someone like Elliot or Ashtray? It obviously means a lot to them because we have seen the picture a few times during the show, like the time when Cal takes it before leaving his family. That makes the theory that the third child was just a mistake a bit improbable. They wouldn't have kept using the picture as a prop if it was just a giant mistake. Fans want answers. Next, why did they need to steal the White Claws? This one is one question that could just be thanks to a massive mistake for the Euphoria writers. Why did Rue, Elliot, and Jules need to steal the White Claws from the store? They know Fezco, and Rue is close to him. I am pretty darn positive that if they just asked him, that he would allow them to just buy liquor from his shop. You know, since he does own a whole liquor store, it made no sense that they went to all that effort and took the chance of getting into trouble since they had an option that would have been much easier. Maybe they could have just used that time in the show to explain where some of the missing characters went. Up next, did Nate just get over his feelings for Jules? Okay, so I know that Nate is not the best guy or boyfriend material in the world at all, but he does develop some pretty major and seemingly real feelings for Jules in season 1. He does, of course, also catfish and blackmail her, but still. But in season 2, it looks like he kind of forgot about Jules and is now just obsessed with Cassie. Still, there are moments where the writers cleverly make it obvious that his feelings are really mixed up, since many fans have noticed that sometimes when Nate has those fantasies of Cassie, Jules still gets thrown into the mix too. It is going to be interesting where they go with this storyline. And is Nate going to school on a football scholarship? Once again, I wonder how their present is going to affect these children's futures. Right at the start of the series, we find out from Rue's narration just what a talented football player Nate is. Rue said that he joined the team and excelled right away. He was quickly not only the starting quarterback, but also the team captain. But if he is such a talented player, why haven't we heard anything from the show about him getting approached with a scholarship to play football in college? If Nate is in his senior year, then there isn't much time left, and he would have known that this was his plan by now. What are the plans for the future? Lastly, what happened to Tyler's case? And then finally, the last question we need to know is, what has happened to Tyler's criminal case? A big part of the first season was dedicated to what happened after Nate assaulted Maddie at the carnival. It was horrible, but instead of Nate being charged, he blackmailed Tyler and Jules, and Tyler took the fall for the entire thing. But since then, they haven't spoken about the case again. Maddie's mother was going to press charges for sure, so we want to see if Tyler has been charged or sentenced. They need to take a step back and clear that up, and hopefully even make sure that Nate eventually faces some charges for the assault. Are there any more questions you want answered that we missed? Let us know. Thanks for watching.